Please help me, like this video and subscribe. I really appreciate your help. Teachers of Reddit, what's the funniest answer you've gotten from a student that technically wasn't wrong? I asked, when is a time you have used integrity? He wrote down, I wash my hands after going to the bathroom, even if no one is in there. Santa approves. I don't think anyone I work with has any of this kind of integrity. I hope you don't work in the food industry. My sweet little 7-year-olds overheard a 5th grade boy say, "Don't be fking stupid" to his friend. They look up at me, eyes wide, and say, "Ooh, he said stupid. This is incredible." Teaching English to middle schoolers in Korea, asked, "Okay, what's another way you can express surprise in English after going over expressions like, 'No way, are you serious? Are you kidding me?'" Kid yells from the very back of the room, "What the FK? Found the RTS gamer." Edit. Thanks for making this my top comment. Why are you late? The bell went off before I got here. That's genius. We'll use this tomorrow. Edit. Jesus Christ, that blew up. In grade 9 English we were studying The Hobbit. Our bonus question for the test was, what word does Gollum never say? The answer of course was I, but one kid put down pumpernickel and the teacher was like, "FK, you're right. Have a mark." Edit. Sigh. Guys, this was a bonus question meant to give you an easy mark, which it did, as he gave the guy a point for pumpernickel. Had it been a more hobbity question it would have just been included in the main exam. He also asked about the 1994 Stanley Cup playoffs and Dr. Seuss's The Lorax. The main body of the test was much more academic. What does Gollum never say? Kid, punk ass VTCH, suck my left testicle. Well, if we're counting the expanded universe, Lord of the Cockrings might have something to say about it. I teach English to Vietnamese kids. I asked, what is the population of Vietnam? The kid quickly surveyed the room and said, more than 15. This guy's going places. Nguyening. The assignment was write the following numbers in all letters. The kid answered, 3, 4, 15, 16, 21, 22 and so on. I gave him full points. Edit. If you don't get it, just read the comments. FK. It took me way too long to realize what the joke was. Took me a second. The following second I fell in love with the kid. Fives. A teacher here. I always wear shorts teaching. Parent teacher conferences roll around. Grade 1 student comes up to me with her parents. "Mr. Famous 1187, I've never seen you wear pants before." I've never responded quicker to a comment before in my life to clear that up. Reminds me of when my wife worked in an undisclosed location women's shelter. My daughter wanted to see where mommy worked, but we could never go. I was picking up my daughter from school when she said, in the middle of the crowded school hall, "Daddy, can we finally go visit mommy in the shelter?" I worked in a special needs class for a year and there was the one kid with a textbook case of Asperger's syndrome. Very bright, very tough nut to crack. I tried to tell him a corny joke once, and he was not having it. Why did the chicken cross the road? He likely had business over there, or was compelled by force. Well, okay. Easily my favorite memory of that class. My friend is also autistic, has led to similar punchlines to the classic corny jokes. Why don't people play poker in the jungle? Because the undiscovered tribes who inhabit the jungles have had no contact with Western culture, therefore they would never have heard of any game called poker, let alone know how to play it. College professor, teaching developmental psychology. At the end of the semester, I asked all the students to write down the most interesting or important thing they learned. One wrote, "Babies are stupid and old people still have sex. It's not wrong. Kinda covers the lifespan." Not a teacher, but someone told me this. "What side of the road do people in France drive on?" Miss, they drive on both sides. In a class that deals with electricity, I asked the students to name a good conductor. Leonard Bernstein. That's great, it starts with an earthquake. In 7th grade on a test the question said, why do some people see some technology as positive and others see the same technology as a problem? And a kid simply put, because some people are Amish. Name 2 ways to determine the height of a building using a barometer that is exactly 1 meter long. 1. Take the barometer to the top of the building, drop it, and time how long it takes to hit the ground. 2. Find the owner of the building and say, "Hey, I have this really awesome barometer I'll give you if you tell me how tall your building is." Not a teacher, but a fellow student once answered in the head to the question, where was JFK shot? Instead the intended answer of Dallas. I mean, he was also shot in his car. I wrote an exam where the question was, can you name 3 *models of DNA replication? She wrote, no. Same kid on the same quiz. Q. Describe the bus ride at the beginning of the chapter. A. It was a bus ride filled with action, but also with emotion. Q. What happens at the end of the story? A. The story ends. Kid's going to be a politician someday. I've got a story from my fiance's childhood. They were testing her intelligence or awareness and showed her an image with a TV in a room. The TV was turned on, showing a cartoon, and had a plant on top of it. Q. What's on the television? A plant. Apparently she just kept insisting in utter frustration until the administrator bothered to look at the image and not the answer sheet. Reminds me of a friend's story. I don't know about public schools, but for sure at private schools you get a little quiz type test with a teacher before they confirm you're ready for kindergarten. One of the things he had to do was identify pictures. He aced the section except for the picture of the airplane. He looked and thought hard and then burst into tears saying, I don't know what that is. Turns out his dad worked for Boeing and he was trying and failing to discern exactly what model plane the super generic picture was depicting. I teach and coach baseball. After our shortstop got thrown out on second for the third out, I told someone to pick up Will, in baseball terms meaning get his glove and hat, so he can go out to the field. This kid who was new to baseball, a big lineman type football player, claps his hands and goes, it's okay Will, you'll get them next time. I cried laughing. Edit. Will was the name of the shortstop. The kid who picked him up was genuinely being nice and thoughtful, but coming from this big intimidating kid it was really funny. Not a teacher, but I work with kids, trying to delicately explain to a 3-year-old why she should be kind to her mommy. You shouldn't say those mean things to mommy when she's sick, who looks after you when you are sick and makes you feel better. The doctor. Well FK. The question. A man has to get a fox, a chicken, and a sack of corn across a river. He has a rowboat, and it can only carry him, and one other thing. If the fox and the chicken are left together, the fox will eat the chicken. If the chicken and the corn are left together, the chicken will eat the corn. How does the man do it? Students answer, let the chicken eat the corn, and let the fox eat the chicken. Then bring the fox over. I teach English in Japan. When teaching my students, I asked what do we say when someone is being too loud. One smartest says shut up forever, more like, forever. I had never said this, no clue where he learned it either. I nearly lost my shit, but he wasn't wrong. The correct answer is be quiet, please, which I told him was more polite. He just grinned as if he knew, but didn't care. Smart kid. I'll miss him when I change jobs. Not the teacher, but witnessed this in class. Sociology prof. Why do you conform? Student. It has always been my goal in life to blend in. Soc prof. No more questions for you. I teach forensic science. We were going to be using iodine to fume fingerprints. Iodine vapor is no joke. So I terrify the students and use only 2 volunteers with goggles and respirators at the chemical hood. But we still all go over the MSDS, PPE, and equipment. I spent maybe 5 minutes talking about everything and the chemical hood to my class of 30 towards the end. So, someone tell me, what is a hood? A hand shoots up. Yes, student. It's like the place where you grow up. I facepan. The class laughs, and I'm unable to pivot his answer in the moment. He's on the autism spectrum, and wasn't trying to be funny. On a 3rd grade Charlotte's web quiz, give 2 pieces of evidence that support this statement. Charlotte was a good friend to Wilbur. She comforted him, and she didn't let him become pork. I have posted about this before. I'm not a teacher, but my wife is an elementary school teacher. The kids were practicing their toss times tables and the question said something along the lines of, John lives in his house with his mom, dad, brother, and grandpa. How many total hands do the people in John's house have altogether? The answer they were looking for was 10, and they wanted the students to show that 2x5 equals 10. This young man instead wrote, not enough information. What if someone lost a hand? He wasn't wrong. My wife just wrote, "Good thinking" on his assignment and gave him full credit. The kid was bright and knew his times tables, so that wasn't an issue. She also had his older brother as a student and said they were both smart but jokesters. My wife now teaches kindergarten. This was when she taught 3rd grade and said she misses the funny responses on test. She used to have a full Word document of the funniest answers. Edit. Apparently my use of full Word document isn't correct. Y'all can stop messaging me about that. She had a Word document of crazy things kids have said over the years. I don't think she has it anymore. Not a teacher, but just a witness to this hilarity. In science class in high school, our teacher was talking about electricity and lightning and the effects of being electrocuted. He asked if anyone happened to know what is the first sense you lose when struck by lightning. Without missing a beat, a girl put her hand up and answered in all honesty, "Your sense of humor?" Class had to stop for a few minutes until everyone could regain their composure. Edit. Apparently, electrocution specifically refers to death by electricity, so in the future, when I tell this story, I will remember to refer to it being shocked. Thank you very much for watching. In the comments under the video, write what is the funniest answer you heard from a student, and also do not forget to watch our other videos. Bye.